Hey, everybody. I am coming on live because I have just finished teaching a PR class, and I tried to do a video earlier today, and it did not quite work out like I wanted it to. So I did not want to, I wanted to finish it off. I wanted to just redo it. I am in the season of getting her done. Okay. So I could have the video recording that I did last night for today. It just didn't show up right. It wasn't doing right. Hey, if you're here, let me know that you're here. So I'm redoing it because I definitely think it's important to share this experience. That I've had recently about reimagining my why. I've had to recently reimagine my why, and it's been such a beautiful experience. It took me on a whole spiral. Let me say that. It took me on a spiral. However, it has actually been a beautiful spiral. So let me share. Let me tell you guys what's been going on or what happened. So in the credit and funding company that I'm a part of, someone in our group asked us, "What is your why?" And when I looked at and I started, I'm like, okay, I wrote my why years ago. I know what it's about. I know my why. I began to think about my why and how when I wrote my why, maybe 2012, 2013, and updated maybe 2015, at that time, I was a single mom, working by myself. I had become my mom's full-time caregiver. So my life was totally different. There were so many things going on at that time that looked totally different from today. Okay. And my why was several things. I wanted to be able to do some things for my grandmother. I wanted to be able to live a financially free or half free life so that I could do what I wanted for my family, my children. And I wanted to be able to make sure that I had enough money for all the resources that my mom would need, because I didn't at that time understand what her recovery journey would look like and what access I would have to help for her. Okay. And so when she asked us what our why is, I'm like, oh, I know my why. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I wanted to do some things for my grandmother. My grandmother has passed. So that's not, that's not relevant anymore. I am an empty nester out of the house. So that whole single mom trying to make it scenario, that's not relevant anymore. My mother, although I was able to get some amazing resources for her and was able to do those things. So the what I had as my why for her is not the same anymore. And so I realized that my why was so strong years ago that I was going for it. Like I was like, I'm going down, I'm showing up everywhere, I'm doing everything. And I realized lately that the way I move isn't like I used to. I've been like, dang, maybe it's because I am grieving. Maybe I'm not moving and going after things like I used to because of grief. Well, after this question was presented to me, what my why is, and I realized that my old why is not conducive to the new life that I live right now, I knew that it was time for me to reimagine my why. So the first thing I did was I went over to my girl Chadisha. I don't know what you call your Chat GPT, but I call her Chadisha. Okay. So I went over to her and I said, you know what? I need to reimagine my why as my life has changed. And I explained to Chadisha previously what my why entailed. I wanted to support my grandmother. I had to support my family, my kids, being a single mom. I wanted to help my mother and make sure she had all the resources. And of course, I want to support my household and continue to grow my businesses, right? I want to kind of reimagine what my why would look like with my current life, being a business owner with the current programs that I'm in. And I didn't think I want to redevelop a strong enough why for where my life is right now. I already know, and I've told you guys before, that there are certain things that I'm looking for. I'm I am going for time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. I say that all the time. I have time freedom. I can pretty much move around, do what I want when I want. Location freedom. I can pretty much move around, do what I want wherever I want. I wanted a business that I could pack up with a computer and go anywhere and work. That's what I wanted to develop. And I've been able to do that. Now, what I have not reached is my view of what financial freedom looks like for me. My financial freedom number. Everybody's number is different. So I haven't reached that as of yet. So I said, I want to build a strong enough why that represents who I am today. Now, let me read to y'all what Chadisha said to me. And this is why I sent into a spiral, because she read me. She did. So here's what she said. She said, Keandra, this is such a powerful reflection. And you're right to pause and reimagine. Your old why was rooted in care, sacrifice, and survival. Now you're stepping into a chapter that's more about expansion, legacy, and self-actualization. Let's explore some ideas for a deeper, more evolved why, one that doesn't just serve others, but also honors you and where you're going. Done. I was done. Because what I realized is that my why, hey, Stephanie, is that my why served others. Most of my why, it was contingent on other people. It was contingent on making sure I was showing up for other people and not just for myself. And so when Chadisha gave this to me, I said, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. My why is different. My life is different. And so I've taken the last several weeks to reimagine my why. And I am looking at my products, services, and experiences to make sure that they are aligned with my current why and where I want to be in life. I am not in the I want to run it down to the ground, be everywhere season of my life. When I was telling them in class today, they were like, oh, you're activating your soft life. I'm ready. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I realized that my why is different. And why I was feeling so stuck, because I internally was still focused and moving in the realm of my old why when my life doesn't represent that why anymore. And so it took me through a little spiral. I had to realize that things were different. And then understanding that my old why, like Chadisha told me, was rooted. What she said, she was rooted. It was rooted in care, sacrifice, and survival. Care, sacrifice, and survival. But now my why in my life, my why is rooted in expansion, legacy, and self-actualization, which means that my moves have to be different. And I was moving, although my life wants this new why, I was still moving in the guise of my old why, because I hadn't even realized that it had changed. And so, yeah, in business and even in life, the why is important. And it needs to be strong enough for the season that you're in. It needs to be strong enough for the season that you're in. And you need to be okay. Now, this is what we talk about in business when you have to shift and change. So now I have to shift and change because my why is totally different, because my life is different. The way I move should be different. And so I was feeling like I was kind of stuck. And I also, to be honest, I have been running. Y'all got to understand, I've been running since 2012. Your girl tired. I needed the rest. So I'm wondering, my life has relaxed. And so my body was catching up. So I'm tired. My body like I want to go to sleep a little bit. It relaxed a little bit. You can kind of sleep a little bit. You can rest a little bit, ma'am. And then, so now I'm struggling with the fact that my body and life is ready to rest, but I'm still trying to run because that's what I'm used to. Because I had not identified the switch mentally. And so that question triggered me to really look when I was asked the question what my why is. And I really had to, I said, oh, I know what my why is. And then when I started not reciting it to them, but like writing it down and thinking about it, I'm like, well, that's not even relevant anymore. My why was centered around my grandmother, my kids, and my mom. And none of that is relevant anymore. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I know if you're an empty nester or have any type of life transition, you have to go through that. Like, what is it? What's my why? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? What's the reason behind it? What is my focus? Like I was talking to a friend about this because it really should be. So I called one of my friends because I realized that maybe that was what he was going through as well. He just recently had a divorce. He got divorced and he is going into school. Like he was starting his master's program. And so life is different for him. And he was just struggling with that transition. And so after this, I got this revelation. I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. I said, you're living your life off your old why. And I said, in marriage, everything that he did was focused on their future. Like, they had got their dream home, they were doing investments, they were doing things that was focused on their future, right? Now that did not pan out the way that they thought, his why is different and now his why is severed. So the reason behind all of that hard work seems null and void, right? So now he's had to reimagine with the life that he currently lives now, what his why is and what his purpose and focus is. And so after giving him that revelation, it's really helped him to kind of move forward. It's even honestly helped him to move forward in relationship. And I'm, really proud of him. But I am like, oh my goodness. Sometimes our life changes. And so we have to change and update. We don't even have to change because you're not really changing. You're updating the story of your life. You're updating your vision of your life because life has changed. And so for me, that's really what it's been. When I'm telling you, I am reimagining my life and my why and the things based off of realizing that it has changed. The original why that I created in 2012, 2013, 2014, updated in 2015 is different because my life is different. Some of the things that surrounded my why, and my why was centered around other people. My entire why was centered around me serving and sacrificing for others. And that was strong because I have a caring nature. Like, I'm going to take care of mine and I'm going to ride for mine. Right. So for me at that time, yeah, that was a strong enough why to get me to going. Well, now it's different. Life is different. Those things are no longer effective or active in my life. My grandmother has passed on. The kids are out, they're grown, living their own lives. And my mother is well. She's doing really well. So although I still am her caregiver, I still have to do some things. It's different from that time frame. She's not total care anymore. Let's just say it like that. So my why is different. And I now have to reimagine my why and move differently based off of where my life is now. And so if you're just joining me, hey, I'm so glad that you are here. If you're watching the replay, please go back and watch from the beginning. I only like these keynotes to be 15 to 20 minutes, but I want you to really take the time to reimagine your why. What does that look like? Look at your current why. Is it strong enough for the life that you're currently living or the life that you want to live? And if it's not, make the adjustment. All right. Hope this has helped because, baby, it took me in a spiral. Your girl been reimagining her why, figuring out what she's doing with her life because it is different. It is totally different than what it was several years ago. I was in fight or flight, had to get it, sacrifice, care, survival mode. My why was surrounded around survival. Now, as Chadisha explained to me, my why is rooted around expansion, legacy, and self-actualization. And it's more centered around me than others. And so with that, my services are changing. The opportunities for me to show up is changing. What I'm doing and what I'm not going to do is changing to accommodate the life that I currently live and the one that I want to build legacy wise. So I knew this helped me and it's going to help me move forward. And I definitely hope this helped you. So again, if we have not already met, my name is Keandra. I am the founder of the KWI Collective. We're a marketing, public relations, and media firm. I'm also a public keynote speaker. And I come on with these keynotes because this is all about life. I talk about in my keynotes life, business, love, everything surrounding my life, and things that I learned along the way, as a woman, as a child of God, and even as an entrepreneur and a business owner. Just those little things that, not the business concepts, but those little life tweaks and life things that you go through. And that's what we're going to talk about on these keynotes. So I am so glad you guys joined me. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and hashtag tapped in so that I know that you saw it. And in the comments, tell me what you think. Is your why strong enough? Do you need to reimagine your why? What is your why? And are you focused? Does your why drive a lot of the movements you make in life and in business? So I am reimagining my personal why. I'm also reimagining my business why. And I am going through and doing a life check. It is actually, this is a great time to do it, to be honest, because we are in June. It's halfway through the year. It's time to do a life check. It's time to do a people check. It's time to do a business check. And it's time to do a why check. So while you're doing all that, do everything at once. Are the people in your life the people that need to be in there? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you moving and progressing in your life and business? Even if you work a corporate job, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to have your why and have a part and develop a purpose around what you're doing. But also identify if it's strong enough to carry you, because I realized that my why was no longer strong enough to carry where I'm going and sustain me and make me go for it. All right. But I'm thankful for that question because it really made me evaluate and it took me on a spiral. And then your girl went to God. I started writing stuff down, went to Chad. You should see what she had to say, took all that to God, and have redeveloped and reimagined my why. And I am excited. So definitely hope this helps. I love to hear your comments and your thoughts, but always know that you set the tone for your day, year, and life. Always continue to strive and make it a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon.